In this video, we're going to compare 4 micro investing apps: RAIZ, CommSec Pocket, Spaceships, and Superhero. Which one's best? For those of you that haven't met me, my name's Angela. I'm your money messenger. I'm here to teach you what you need to know about money. My background is in financial planning. I've got 20 years experience in that industry. I help financial advisors to prepare recommendations for their clients, which teach how to manage money, how to organize money, repay debt, invest, and get ahead financially. So in today's video, we're going to compare 4 popular micro investing apps: RAIZ, Spaceships, CommSec Pocket, and Superhero. So micro-investing apps have popped up in the recent handful of years as a solution to try and help people get started investing with little knowledge and little money. Often the 2 biggest challenges when people want to start investing to grow their long-term wealth is they don't know which investment to pick because there are thousands available, all different types, shapes and sizes, or they don't have enough money in that they don't want to invest a lot of money, or they don't have a lot of money to start investing. So they just want to start out small and grow a portfolio. That causes some challenges when you want to invest because either you don't have enough money to get into certain investments, or the fees and charges that apply, for example, stock market brokerage, can really eat into small amounts. So micro investing apps have made an appearance as a solution to try and help people get into the markets with little fuss and little money. But there's a few of them popping up now in the marketplace. So are they any good, and which one's best? So let's get started comparing these 4 micro investing apps. Now, remember, this is my honest opinion and a review of these apps. This is not financial advice. I am not your financial advisor, and therefore I haven't taken into account your personal situation. So you need to read the terms and conditions for yourself when looking into these to determine what one is best for you and your money. So the first thing to consider when looking at these 4 investment apps is that they are all actually quite different. So there are different review videos you can find on these apps and different opinions out there. But the problem is a lot of people clump them all together and try and review them as though they are the same product. So they check the fees and whatnot and expect them to be comparable. But actually, the number one thing to remember is that these apps are all very, very different. They invest in different products. They also have different features. So it's one thing to compare fees, but they're not like for like products. So you're not comparing apples with apples. You're going to compare apples with oranges. So let's talk about each one differently because they are different and they stand up on their own feet for different reasons. First one we're going to talk about is the RAIZ investing app. RAIZ has been around the longest out of all the 4 that we've been talking about. It came around mid-2016 from a US company called Acorns. It changed its name when it came to Australia, rebranded as RAIZ. The RAIZ slogan is to invest your spare change. The knockout feature when it comes to the RAIZ app is the roundups feature. It's the only product in the marketplace that I have seen that will allow you to invest small amounts of money using roundups from your nominated bank accounts. So in essence, what that means is you nominate your bank accounts that you want to link to your app, the ones that you make purchases from through regularly, can be credit cards as well. And say you buy $3.50 coffee. RAIZ will round up that purchase to the nearest whole dollar, $4, take that 50 cents from your bank account and invest it for you. Now, it won't take it every single time you spend money, 50 cents, 50 cents, 50 cents. It will clump the money together and usually take the money out of your bank account once or twice a month. In all my time financial planning, I have never seen another product that offers this roundup feature for investing. There are some bank accounts now available in the recent couple of years for your savings, which will round up purchases, but they're for savings accounts, for bank accounts. They're not for investing. So out of all these 4 apps that we're going to talk about today, RAIZ is the only one that offers a roundup feature. And it's a brilliant way to get started. You won't even see the money coming out of your bank account. You won't even notice it. It's a savings plan in the background of life to help you invest money without having to physically put the money in each month. RAIZ invests in ETFs. ETFs are exchange traded funds, and for argument's sake, they're a pool of stocks or shares that are put together on the share market by a fund manager, and you invest in those as opposed to buying individual shares. So there are 7 portfolios in RAIZ. They start from conservative right up to the aggressive. You select the one that's the most appropriate for you in terms of how long do you want to invest for. So if you're only investing for a couple of years, you might want to stick to the conservative or moderate conservative portfolio. If you're investing for 5 years, 7 years or more, you might want to go to the aggressive or the one before the aggressive, be up that end of the town, because the more aggressive the portfolio, the more exposure to shares it will have. Now remember, with all of these investing apps, they should be for long-term investing. If you only want to save for a few months for a particular item, don't use an investment app. That's not what they're designed for. This is for long-term investing. So several years we're talking about. The minimum investment for RAIZ is $5. And then you're also charged an administration fee and a management fee. Now the administration fee, if your portfolio is under $10,000, is $2.50 per month, as $30 a year. Once you go over $10,000 in a portfolio, that fee disappears and the fee becomes 0.275. They're both moderate fees in my eyes. If you open these accounts and you only have $100 in them or $500 in them and you get charged a $30 admin fee, as a percentage, some people will say that's a little bit high, but the idea with these apps is for you to grow your portfolio and increase it over time till you've got $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 more. So when you look at it from a long-term perspective, I don't think the fees of RAIZ are high. When you select your portfolio, the RAIZ managers, they will blend several ETFs together to invest into a portfolio. Those portfolios have a management fee attached. It's from 0.19% up to about 0.418%. Again, they're quite moderate fees in terms of a managed investment style. You can go, however, and invest in ETFs direct on the stock market through a CommSec account or a NAB trade account, and the fees for an ETF will be a lot lower if you buy them direct. It might be 0.1% or 0.5% or 0.3%. So RAIZ is not the cheapest if you want to invest in ETF, but if you want to utilize the roundup feature and have it done for you, as in the manager, you pick the portfolio and they manage your money for you, then those fees are actually quite reasonable. You can also add a monthly amount to your RAIZ portfolio. Say you want to add $200 a month or $50 a month. That money will get directly debited out of your bank account each month as well. So overall, from a savings perspective, I think the RAIZ app is excellent. Personally, I've been using it for about 3.5 years now. Started with zero, and after 3.5 years, the portfolio is now worth about $11,500. That's purely just from my roundups going out of my bank each month, which are about $40 odd a month it works out to be. Plus, I also add $200 a month to that portfolio religiously without fail. So in terms of the fees, when I compare my $30 administration fee, and then depending on the portfolio you pick, there's also a management fee there, could be 0.4 in my case, then those total fees are actually very, very reasonable for the roundups that you get and for the features. There's also a rewards feature in RAIZ. So every time I buy online, I quickly check my RAIZ app to see if the retailer is in there. I'm talking about the Iconic, Dan Murphy's, Lorna Jane, big brand names, not no-name brands. They're all in there as well. So even eBay's in there. So if you put your online shopping through there, you get back a percentage into your RAIZ account as well. So that also can add up. So there's another feature there which I find quite good. Sometimes you only get a couple of dollars back or a couple of cents back, but it all adds up. I've even bought airline tickets through my app. The next one we're going to review is Spaceships. Spaceships is different to RAIZ in that it doesn't invest in ETFs. It invests in stocks and shares, but in a managed fund setting. So there are two options, two portfolios you can pick from, the index or the universe. They will have different amounts of shares in them, different types of shares in them, and they're managed by Spaceships as a fund manager. Now, traditionally, when we're looking at investments, managed funds have been around for a long time as well. ETFs are a bit newer, but quite often ETFs can outperform managed funds. So as an investment type, I prefer ETFs compared to managed funds. The fees, the management fees can also be quite less with ETFs. There's no minimum investment requirement for the Spaceship app. And in terms of fees, when your account balance is under $5,000, there's no fees at all. After that, with the two portfolios, the index fund only charges 0.05%, and then the universe fund only charges 0.1%. So they're really, really low, a lot lower than RAIZ. However, there's no roundup feature and there's no savings plan feature. You can add money to the Spaceship account whenever you like though, but there's no roundups feature. So you literally have to add in your own savings plan. Now let's review the CommSec Pocket app. This one's fairly new. It's only been around since about 2019. It's brought to you by CommSec Bank, obviously. The difference between this one and RAIZ, for example, is that you can pick from 7 ETF funds in the CommSec app. Not CommSec portfolios that RAIZ will put together themselves, but these are pre-existing ETFs that CommSec have available. So they've picked 7 that they like, that they think are appropriate and low cost, and they offer them to you via the app. Now, the choice is actually a little bit limited, and they don't include some of the biggest ETF fund managers. I'm not sure why. I think because the fees are just outside of their reach, but it can be quite limited. That's one of the downfalls with the CommSec Pocket app. It's a minimum of $50 to get started investing in CommSec Pocket, plus then you're charged brokerage. So every time you put money into a CommSec Pocket trade, you're going to be charged $2 if the trade is under $1,000. So if you're getting started with a little amount of money when you're trading, you're probably going to be trading with less than $1,000. You're going to be charged $2 every single time. So if you invest $50 every time and get charged $2 each time, versus you invest $100 each time and get charged $2 each time, you can see that you want to kind of stick to higher amounts when you're investing via the CommSec Pocket app. Otherwise, those fees can really add up and they can eat into your returns. Now, the biggest thing I noticed with the CommSec Pocket app is that those brokerage fees, particularly when you get to the higher amounts, they're the same as if you were to go and open up a CommSec trading account. CommSec, NAB Trade, they're some of the most popular trading platforms in Australia, where you can literally go and invest in any ETF that you want on the share market in that case and pay around the same brokerage. So I'm not really sure why you would bother with the CommSec Pocket account. Yes, the brokerage is less when you're getting started on low amounts. It's only $2 for a trade under $1,000, whereas with CommSec, it would be $10 for a trade under $1,000. But after that, if you're investing higher amounts, the fees are the same with CommSec Pocket or your regular CommSec trading platform. The difference is with the CommSec trading platform, you can pick any ETF you want. You're not going to be limited to the 7 basic ETFs that CommSec have picked in the Pocket app. And finally, let's talk about the Superhero app. Now, this is a very new one that's just come onto the market here. And this one is most suited for people that really want to do a bit of trading. They really want to get stuck into their ETFs, shares, listed investment companies, all different types of investments. There are 2,500 different options that are available to you with the Superhero account. Like I mentioned, shares, ETFs, listed investment companies, property funds, they're all available for you, and ETFs as well. The minimum to get started is $100, and after that, the fees are only $5 per trade, regardless of the amount. $5 flat, always. Now, if you pick a basic account through Superhero, there's no other fees. If you would like the advanced one, which means you get more reporting, more features in terms of setting the price you want to trade at, more trading capabilities, then it's a fee of $9 a month, which I think is really reasonable as well. So even when you're comparing the CommSec Pocket app to the Superhero app, I don't even know why you just wouldn't go the Superhero one. It's $5 flat trading fee, brokerage fee, and then you get to pick from 2,500 different investments. You can find the same ETFs that CommSec Pocket have on Superheroes. They all have their own individual codes, so you can find those on there. So I think the Superhero one, from a flexibility and a choice perspective, is much more advantageous compared to the CommSec Pocket. So overall, the point with micro investing apps is to get you started investing with little money. But that doesn't mean you just invest a couple of $100 and then you stop. Otherwise, the fees can really eat into your returns. The idea with investing is to keep growing your wealth. So personally, I wouldn't have multiple accounts open, one with RAIZ, one with spaceships, one with Superheroes. It's kind of no point diversifying your money to that extent. Just pick one to get started and build that account. Don't stop until you hit like $10,000. That way the fees are quite reasonable amongst all of them. Now, one of the biggest downfalls with these micro investing apps is that they are so flexible. And as good as that is, that can also be to your detriment, because it makes you tempted to want to access the money, either to cash it out and spend it, or even just to trade it in terms of buying and selling the investments regularly. Don't do that when you have these apps. These are meant to be long-term investing, set and forget. That means buying one of the RAIZ portfolios, picking one portfolio and leaving it. It means if you're using Spaceship, picking from one of the 2 portfolios and sticking to it, leaving it alone. Likewise, if you're going to use a superhero investment and you want to pick a couple of ETFs or, 2 or 3 or 4, fine. But just keep those ones and just keep adding to them non-stop. The worst thing you can do is chop and change between the apps, chop and change between selling down your money, chop and change between swapping portfolios. That way you'll come unstuck and you can sell it when the markets are down. So set and forget long-term investing. And remember, returns aren't everything. Often when people review investments and compare, they want to compare returns, want to go for the highest return. That's hard to do with these 4 apps. Remember, we talked about they're all actually quite different and unique of their own. The RAIZ one has been around for the longest. That one you can kind of look at the returns and how they've been, and they've been pretty good. But also remember, the share market's been pretty good for the last few years in Australia as well. So it's been hard not to make money in the share market. Whereas Spaceships, that's only been around since about 2018. CommSec Pocket, that's only around since 2019. However, and Superheroes, that's actually very, very new. So it's quite hard to check the returns. But in CommSec Pocket and Superhero, you're actually buying actual ETFs or investment shares that are on the share market. So those actual investments have been around for a long time. It's only with RAIZ, who makes their own portfolio of ETFs, or Spaceships, who make their own portfolio as in managed funds. Those ones, a little bit harder to compare the returns because they haven't been around for as long. So actually, when it comes to these investments, instead of worrying about the returns so much, you will make some money with all of them because they're all investing in the share market. So if the share market's going up, a lot of these investments are going to be going up. You don't need to worry about it so much. The biggest concern is to keep your fees low and also to add to your investment regularly. You want to grow your portfolio. That will outweigh chasing returns any day of the week. So which one is best out of the 4 that we discussed? My personal favorite is RAIZ. I've been using that for 3.5 years now, and I think it is just a gem of a product that people have created. In all my time financial planning, I've never seen another financial product that allows you to do the roundups feature, and I think that is the star of the show. If you want a simple way to get started investing your spare change, not even noticing it coming out of your bank account, I think the roundups feature is brilliant. Also, the savings plan, you can add on to that easily without paying money every time you place an investment. So every time the money's coming out of your bank each month, you're not getting charged brokerage fees or anything. My next favorite is Spaceships. I think the fees are incredibly low for what it is. However, the portfolio choice is quite limited. So if you're more fee conscious, or you just want to dip your toe in the water, or even just use it in order to accrue $5,000 before ripping it out and investing it somewhere else, Spaceships is very, very cheap where it comes to investing, but not my favorite in terms of features and portfolios. If you want more trading capabilities, you want more investment choice, you maybe want to get into buying and trading shares, I think Superheroes app can be very, very good because of the low brokerage and the choice of investments that you have. Over 2,500 shares, ETFs, listed investment companies, whatnot. However, if you're using a micro app, you're probably not into all that. You want something that's more easy and set and forget. So I don't know that you need all that choice. And at $5 brokerage per trade, I don't think you want to be putting in a fortnightly or a monthly amount to the Superheroes app. Those costs could really eat into your portfolio. But if you are putting in a semi-regular amount, maybe a higher amount, then that is very low brokerage for the choice of the ETFs and shares and whatnot that you get with Superhero. CommSec Pocket, my least favorite. When you're comparing it to CommSec's normal trading platform that they offer, the brokerage fees are actually pretty much the same once you're trading over $1,000. The brokerage is a lot lower with CommSec Pocket. If you're trading under $1,000, it's only $2 instead of $10 through the normal CommSec app. But I just don't know why you would bother with CommSec Pocket really. If the fees are going to be basically the same as a CommSec account, you just go their normal account, because then at least you've got more access to different investments, anything you want, not just the 7 portfolios that they've picked, which are quite limited and actually exclude some of the most popular ETF fund managers, for example, like Vanguard. So remember, when comparing these apps, they are not all the same. As you can see, they have a lot of different features. If you're looking for a set and forget option, pick one, stick to it, and grow your portfolio balance to a sizable amount before you worry about diversifying too much into different apps. So thanks for watching. If you like what you saw today, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Thursday teaching you what you need to know about money. I'll see you next week for the next video. Bye.